I'm going to show you how to use these function blocks in GameLab on code.org. And to do so, I've got a little demo game where the left and right cursors on your keyboard control the fish. Spacebar makes the fish jump, and if he touches the burger, the score goes up a point. When the score gets to 10, the background changes, but that actually isn't relevant to what we're doing here. So can't stop myself. I got to get that new background. Okay, so you get the idea, and it gets a little bit faster. So the first thing I want to do is point out that when we start the game up here before the draw loop, we have to put the burger somewhere, right? So this first time we're starting him in the middle of the screen. And then this bit controls the fish movement, but whenever the burger goes off the screen, whenever his X value is greater than 450, you'll see we have to put the burger again. We move him over to the left side of the screen, that's the X being negative 50, and we give his Y a random somewhere kind of in the middle of the screen. So we're putting the burger back over here somewhere. And then a third time, if the burger and the fish touch, you'll notice we have to do the exact same thing and put the burger again. So there are 3 instances where we have to move this burger to a new location. When he goes off the screen, when he touches the fish like that, and when you start the game. And anytime you notice that you're doing the same thing more than once, you're writing the same lines of code over and over, that's a good time to think about using a function. And so in this case, it would be really great if we had a block, somewhere in here that just said put burger. Right? That would be really helpful. Now, that doesn't exist, but functions are a way to kind of make the block that you want. So first, we'll grab one and we'll put it right here. And I'm going to call it make burger, put burger. All right, now what does that mean? The computer doesn't know. So this big one is where you define what that means. And you always want to do that after the draw loop. I always like to do it at the bottom of my code. So function put burger is going to mean these 2 lines. Like that. So whenever the code is running and it's going along line by line, when it sees put burger, it's going to jump down here, do these 2 things, and then jump back to where it was right before that. So let's test to make sure I haven't broken it, because sometimes I do. Whenever the burger is touching the fish, okay, so it's still working exactly the same way. Now, since we've written it once, this block now exists, and we can put it wherever we want to. So I'm going to copy this guy, Control-C, and go find those other locations where I was putting the burger. Here's one. I don't need these lines of code anymore because I have a shortcut. So I'll backspace those out and paste in put burger. And then at the very beginning, right here, it'd be nice if the burger were randomized there as well. So I'm going to put burger there. Now let's reset it and see if I've broken anything. It appears to still be working. So one great time to use functions is when you see repeated code over and over. It'll make your code shorter, clearer, and better. Another time is when you just want to organize what you're doing. For example, to make the fish move left and right, I need all of this. To make the fish move left and right and jump, I need the things I just highlighted plus all of this. That's a lot of stuff just to move the fish around. So I'm going to make a function called move. And what does move mean? Well, right now, move doesn't mean anything. So I have to come down to the very bottom of my code and define move. So highlight it all again. It's all of this and all of this. That's it. So I'm going to cut that out, Control X. Come down here and define move as all this stuff. Now a reason to do this is 1, you can make your draw loop easier to read when you do this. And 2, if you have a problem with the fish moving, you don't have to dig through all your code, you only have to dig through the definition of that one block. We can do this again for score. Might as well. All this stuff relates to the score. except for maybe draw sprites, but I'll lump it in there too. So we're going to bring another block over here and call it show score. I can't call it just score because that's the variable that I created at the top right here. I have to call it something else. So I'm going to call it show score. What does show score mean? I don't know yet. So we'll have to bring this down here and define it. Show score. And show score is going to be basically the rest of our draw loop. All this, we'll say. Okay, so now let's see if it still works. The fish still moves and jumps, the score still goes up. So now my draw loop, that big complicated thing that was maybe 50 lines of code, is now just this. And if I have a problem with the fish moving, I'll go here. If I have a problem with the score here, if I have a problem with where the burger is put, I just go here. So it's simpler. And that's the basics of functions.